You know, if they ever hire another Joker actor, they should probably just come to me. You want to know why? Because I already got the smile. Let's all go watch the review. Yeah. Hello everyone, how's it going? I am Laser Dude. Welcome to another Laser Dude review. Today we are looking at the brand new movie Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix. So I remember when everyone was originally told about this film that Joaquin Phoenix was going to be doing this standalone movie about the Joker, and everyone was kind of like, I don't know. I mean, we just had Jared Leto, and everyone was a little disappointed in that too. So go right back into the Joker pool in a standalone movie about the Joker himself with no Batman. Kind of seemed like a scary concept. But then when Joaquin Phoenix got on board, we were like, okay, maybe this could work. Maybe this could be a little bit okay. And then we saw the trailer and we're like, you know what? This kind of looks interesting. And so now that it's finally here, how do we feel about it? Well, I can tell you one thing. When it comes to movies about super villains that are made, this kicks Venom right out of the water. So the movie Joker follows this man named Arthur. He is a guy who works as dressing up as a clown to go to businesses to encourage people to come on in, but his dream is to be a stand-up comedian. Only problem is he doesn't really have a good grasp on what a sense of humor is. He even has these uncontrollable fits where he'll start laughing uncontrollably at something even if it's not funny. And as we follow his dreams and aspirations, we get to see him turn down a dark path, to say the least. Now, the thing that I want to warn people going into this right away is basically that this is an adaptation of the character, but not really of any of the comics. You know, Joker in the comics, we don't even know who he is or where he's from or whatnot. He's just an unknowable thing that is the opposite to the yin to Batman's yang. Here we get to see the character form into the Joker and the struggles and the things that happen to him that form this personality. And honestly, if you go into this film trying to see it as this is the comics Joker comes to life, I don't think you're going to get what you want. But if you go in it to see a character study about a guy who turns into a maniac like the Joker, then yeah, I think this is an immensely fun, entertaining movie. Well, fun might not be the right word. You know, fun is definitely, though, a movie that keeps you on the edge of your seat. For one thing, I want to say that I like the changes, the subtle little things that they did. Like, for example, the thing I mentioned earlier, the uncontrollable laughing fits, where you're just like, Honestly, it's really unsettling. Joaquin Phoenix does an amazing job with this performance because I love that touch. It adds this sort of thing where he feels like at the beginning of the film like he's fighting against his character. You know, when he'll start laughing at something and he'll try to hold it back. He's like, oh no, I don't want to laugh. This is not something that's supposed to be laughing about. And then as the film goes on, he's like, oh, why shouldn't I laugh about this? You know, comedy is subjective. If I want to laugh about this, then why shouldn't I? Who's to say it's not funny? It's up to me what I decide is funny or not. And so after some events I don't want to spoil too much, the city of Gotham sees this clown and is like inspired by them, and he becomes like a sign for the people who have been put down by the rich and powerful and want to take back control of their city. You know what? I gotta say, there's already a lot of Oscar buzz for this movie, and I gotta say, I can see it. I can really see it. As I said, Joaquin Phoenix and his character and the way he portrays it is really well done. I love the way that they give this character fully life, and they give him the time to fully develop his psychosis into the character that we see at the end. I will say, for me personally, for someone who's a fan of the Joker, there are some times where the Joker does stuff, I'm like, well, that's not necessarily in the character of how the Joker would handle this. But it's totally in character with the way this guy, this character, this version of the Joker would handle it. So it's not necessarily out of character, it's just not as I envision the Joker necessarily. Honestly, it's almost better to look at this movie as not a comic book movie, as not to have any expectations or any feelings that they need to do stuff going in. I mean, really, it almost works better if you look at it that way, which is why I think is getting a lot of Oscar buzz, because it's working on every level for people who don't really watch superhero movies or don't care that much. It still works for them on those levels. But I do want to get into the spoiler part of this review very quickly, because there are some stuff that I really want to talk about. But let's just wrap up the non-spoiler part of this review. I will say the cinematography is great. I love that they added a slight little touch that Gotham is on like a garbage strike, like the garbage workers are on strike. So that's why the city looks like absolute garbage. I love that. There's lots of little references like that. I honestly think I heard there's like, yeah, you got trash backed up all the way down to Nolan Street. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they said Nolan Street. That's cool. I see what you did there. And the ending really, when the ending happens, that's when everything where I really feel fully, okay, this is the Joker. This is what I'm talking about. It's a slight thing, but I kind of wish he went more full Joker a little earlier. I mean, part of me realizes why, so it doesn't feel like such a jarring change where he has the slow development until he's a fully realized version of the Joker. But part of me is just like, I loved Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, you know, when he was fully the Joker at the end. That I loved, and I thought it was a lot of fun. Well, as I say, fun. Still an entertaining movie, and you know what? It'd be really interesting if Joaquin Phoenix won, or was at the very least nominated for his performance of this, because you realize that means the only actor to ever be nominated for a superhero performance would have to be... It's the only ones who get nominated are people who play the Joker. I mean, that I think is hilarious. Ha 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 ha. But in any case, I'm going to be giving the movie Joker a 8 out of 10. And only an 8 because I feel like the movie lacks rewatchability for me. You know, it's like, I might watch this with somebody else, but I'm just like... And it's not that I wouldn't recommend this to other people, it's just... This isn't a movie where it's like, hey, let's gather the whole family around and watch Joker. You know, this isn't a movie that I'm going to be like, oh, I have to rewatch it soon. I cannot wait. You know, this was more of an experience for me, and I'll probably pick it up when I get it, but I'm not going to be rushing to rewatch it, is all I'm saying. The movie, I think, works as more of a one-time experience rather than a rewatchability thing, but that's just my personal preference. I think it's more because of the styles of movies that I'm more into, but yeah. Alright, so let's go into the spoiler part of the review. This is your spoiler warning. If you haven't seen this film, make sure that you do so before continuing on. I highly recommend that you do so. 8 out of 10. It's a great movie. You know, it's not something I give every day around here, so make sure you check it out. Okay, so the things that I really wanted to talk about. The best scene, I think, or at least the scene that felt the most Joker to me, is when he locks the door behind him while the two old clown buddies walk in, you know, the big guy and the little person, and then he kills the big guy, and then the little person is just so terrified. He can barely move, but Joker's not really making a move for him. He's not trying to do anything or grab him or anything, so he doesn't know what to do, so he slowly starts making his way to the door, and he gets past him, and just when you think, okay, he's made it out of the door, he can't reach the lock. And that's just like, whoa, okay. Because that's just like, oh my gosh, this is such a twisted Joker thing to do. But then he lets him out. And the thing in me that I wanted the Joker to do at that moment, because he says, you were the only one that was ever kind to me. Then he lets him leave. But what I wanted him to do was, go on. You were the only one who was ever kind to me. Too bad that doesn't matter. You know, something like that. It's like, that would be such a twisted thing. Or, for the, you know, I mean, like, it kind of works for the Joker to let him go too, but just because that would be the opposite of what the Joker would think he was wanting him to do. You know, that's kind of my way of thinking about it. Honestly, I thought he was going to smash his head into the door. That's what I really thought was going to happen. But I love the ending. The build up to the whole scene where he's in the TV studio, and that whole theme with that and how it builds up and up and up, and then boom, and then when he's like on top of the police car just basking in the revel of the violence and the destruction that he caused, and just finally he has an audience that appreciates his work, and I was just basking in it, and then I'm like, yes, this is what I wanted. I wanted more of this, and I know we didn't get it, but that's okay. It's okay, because it's just, at least I got that part. You know, and what I actually thought was really interesting is the thing with Batman and Joker in the comics is that Batman is such a pillar for justice and whatnot that it's only natural that he would do something in the comic books, which case he accidentally knocks or bumps into the Red Hood and he falls into the acid and becomes a Joker. Whatever way you know, whichever version of that story you like. You know, so Batman's seeking true full-on justice results in his utter opposite, the chaos. I like how we kind of have the reverse of that in here. Joker's chaos, his utter destruction and disregard for justice and law and caring about anything other than himself, leads to Bruce's parents' deaths. I was actually kind of thinking that they might go the route where Joker kills his parents, you know, go the Tim Burton route. But in this case, it's just somebody inspired by the Joker kills his parents, which I kind of like more, though, because in this case, it's the Joker's utter chaos that creates his other side. Just like in the comics, it's Batman's stern justice that creates the other side. And I like it in this because it makes it so, you know, like, it's when craziness and chaos erupts, somebody has to stand up and fight to it. Although I will say the kid Bruce, I mean, I think his only directions were look scowly all the time. Because he didn't do anything besides the whole time. And, okay, if that's the way you want to do it, then fine, whatever. But I just, like, I don't know. I would have preferred to him show a little bit more emotion. But I think he wasn't necessarily the focus. The focus was more on the chaos that the Joker was creating and what it led to. But yeah, anyway, that's basically all I had to say. I enjoyed the movie a lot. I thought it was really well done, and I'm going to be rooting for it when the Oscar nominations come around for sure. It's just not necessarily the pinnacle Joker for me. You know, it's like Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill, more that area. Those are the pinnacle Jokers for me still. And while Joaquin Phoenix did an amazing job, I don't think he surpassed them. So thanks for watching. I hope you watch another video of mine. And yeah, as I said, call me up if you ever need another Joker. I already got the smile down. Now I just need to laugh. Be sure to check out some of these other videos on my channel. And wait for more coming soon.